Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Flames Pyro Art Study Group and the new project we are about to start, which is the eagle. I've printed off my eagle. This is just going to be used for my transfer only, so it won't be used for my work. I'll be working from a digital image which has got much more detail to it. I have now also got my new pack of Oak Crafts pyrography blanks, which are said to be of a better grade. So let's take a look. This is the early stages of a new project, and I wanted to go through it in a little more detail for new pyrographers that may be joining us. Okay, so I've opened the pack of pyrography blanks, and the first thing you will see when you open a new pack, which I've just opened, just bear with me. So here we have one of the ply boards, which I like to use because you can get so much detail into a ply board. You can really absorb the heat into the wood and get some great depth and stuff going on. So I like to use ply boards for my art. It is the stock wood really in the UK is ply for making pyrography art on. So we get these. This is very light wood. It's a new style that oakcrafts.co.uk are experimenting with. Instead of the birch ply that we commonly use, they're on a new style of wood where it's got much less grain in it. However, when we get our new piece of wood, we don't just put our transfer down and, with our graphite paper and transfer the image. There are a few steps before we can get to that stage, and that is sanding the wood. I'll now transfer the camera image over to the piece of wood, and I will just talk you through what you're looking for when you first start with a new piece of wood. So bear with me while I move the wolf out of the way that I'm still working on. Okay, so let's switch this camera around. Possible. Which I bent it all before. Okay, so on the actual wood itself, there are lots of little pit marks we can see on the surface. So we need to sand this wood so it's as smooth as possible. And the way I like to test it is by getting a cloth, and if you rub it against the grain of the wood and you get snags, then you haven't sanded it enough. Usually we go to like anything from, bear with me a second while I swing the camera back. There we go. We usually, with the sanding, and you may hear these terms of 600 and 1000 grit, and what it is sandpaper has different numbers, different grades for how coarse the sandpaper is. So say if you get a 100 grit piece of sandpaper, that is very, very coarse. It's like glass, it's really heavy duty sandpaper. So what we usually want to do with a pyrography blank, depending on what you're buying. I usually, let's say, buy the ply boards. I start off with my orbital sander at say 240 grit, which will just take a very thin layer off the top of the pyrography blank that I'm going to be using. So that's 240 grit all over it to get past them pit marks, which are only like a fraction of a millimetre deep, but you still need to sand over all of those pit marks. Once you've done that, next step up to a piece of 600 grit sandpaper by hand. Rub that all over the wood, you know, keep sanding until you get it really smooth. Then try maybe a cloth test and see if it snags. If it snags again, then step up maybe to the 1000 grit. The 1000 grit is where we want to get to, really. So once we've sanded to 1000 grit sandpaper, which feels like it has got no grit to it at all, but it has a little, rub that over and over for a good 10-20 minutes, however long it takes, and get that piece of wood as smooth as you possibly can before we even consider transferring our image. Preparation is truly key to creating a piece of pyrography art. So this pyrography blank will be sanded now and ready for the transfer. So I suggest you do the same with your blanks that you're going to use for the eagle project. Get your wood as smooth as you possibly can, so your pen just glides over nice and easily and gently, and then we can start creating some magical pyrography art together. Okay, so I should get this sanded. I'm going to use my orbital sander first to do the donkey work, and then I will use my hand for the rest of the sanding process. And I shall see you all shortly when I finish sanding. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Bye for now. Hello everybody, back again. So with the magic of editing videos, I've now sanded my board ready for the transfer process. I've got my homemade piece of graphite paper. If you want to see how to make it, I've got a video further down in the listings which is called How to Make Your Own Piece of Graphite Transfer Paper. Saves you a load of money, and this piece of graphite paper I have here will last me for 12 months or more, because once it starts fading, you get your graphite stick out again and you re-rub over it, and again it's full of graphite, and then you can transfer again. And as it gets thinner, it gets better to use, so you can reuse it over and over again, and the more it gets thinner, the better it gets. So definitely make yourself a homemade piece of graphite paper. All you will need is a graphite stick. Don't use a pencil, otherwise, well, you can use a pencil, but it'll take you forever. But it has to be a B grade pencil, a soft lead. You can't go with a H, because a H you won't get any graphite laying down on your transfer. So you need a soft graphite. So once you press down with your mechanical pencil on the transfer, which I will show you shortly how to do the transfer correctly, and then we can get all the outline of the eagle that we've got here. Here's Mr. Eagle, which I will put up on the video anyway, and we'll get cracking with the transfer process. Okay, so I'll speak to you all shortly and get everything lined up ready for doing the transfer. Okay, see you all soon. Bye for now.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. push a mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest